Welcome to NarrativeNook where enchanted stories come to life. If you enjoy our stories, please subscribe, like and share to support our channel. Enjoy listening. Romeo knew his presence was not well suited for the moment. "I'll head in first then?" Arabella nodded, turning towards the villa. Romeo watched her silhouette disappear into the house before pulling out his cell phone to reply to his brother's messages. Old Mrs. Griffith on the sickbed was emotionally stirred, several times opening her mouth to speak, only to be too overcome to utter a word. Her hand was trembling, as if trying to grasp onto something. "Mom, I know what you're trying to say. Just take a moment to calm down, take it easy." Louisa, holding her mother's hand, urged anxiously. "Just relax." "Yeah, Grandma, take it easy. Don't rush." Serena chimed in. Old Mrs. Griffith looked around the room filled with her family, her daughter and son-in-law, her son, her grandchildren, and her most cherished granddaughter Serena, whom she had adored for 18 years. Tears welled up in her eyes and flowed down silently. "Mom, why are you crying?" Kenneth quickly reached for a tissue to wipe her tears. "Are you feeling unwell?" Old Mrs. Griffith gazed at Serena with tear-filled eyes, keeping her thoughts to herself. Serena, too, was on the verge of tears. She knew her grandmother loved her the most. Among her 5 brothers, she was the one most pampered. When she was a child, if her brothers misbehaved, their grandmother would scold them. But when Serena made a mess, her grandmother would only laugh heartily. Rumor had it, her mother had already told her grandmother the truth. Were her grandmother's tears regret for the 18 years of love she had given her, or were they because she couldn't bear to part with her beloved granddaughter? Perhaps due to the emotional upheaval, old Mrs. Griffith suddenly found herself gasping for breath. Her panting was heavy and exaggerated, like a fish out of water. "Mom, what's wrong? Mom." Louisa was immediately thrown into a panic. "Quick, get the nurse." As soon as Sampson finished speaking, May piped up. The nurse went to take a shower. "I told her I could keep an eye on things here. I didn't expect the lady to wake up all of a sudden." May regretted her words as soon as they left her mouth. Old Mrs. Griffith's face had turned a shade of red from oxygen deprivation. Her emotional outburst, coupled with the lack of oxygen, had caused her to hyperventilate, making her body shake uncontrollably. "Everybody step back." A voice rang out urgently. Upon hearing Arabella's voice, everyone felt as if a heavy weight had been lifted off their chests. The crowd parted to make way for Arabella. Seeing the state old Mrs. Griffith was in, Arabella immediately instructed, "May, go get my acupuncture kit from my room." "Right away." May dashed off to her room. Arabella quickly pressed a few acupressure points on old Mrs. Griffith. When May returned with the acupuncture kit, Arabella swiftly applied the needles. Soon, old Mrs. Griffith's hyperventilation ceased, and her body slowly calmed down. Her eyes, however, filled with tears again as she looked at Arabella. "Bella, is Grandma going to be okay?" Louisa asked worriedly. "She's fine, it's just too crowded here, and she got too emotional." Arabella took old Mrs. Griffith's pulse and continued, "It's not serious." That's good, that's good." Louisa let out a sigh of relief. Just as Arabella was about to withdraw her hand, old Mrs. Griffith on the bed suddenly gripped her wrist. Arabella looked at her in surprise, only to see old Mrs. Griffith's tear-filled eyes staring at her. Arabella could see a myriad of emotions flickering in her grandmother's eyes. She gently started, "Grandma, since this is the first time we've met since you woke up, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Arabella, and I've been back in this family for about half a year now." Belinda Griffith's eyes welled up with tears, her voice trembling as she whispered, "The second time." Arabella furrowed her brows in confusion. "The first time, you saved me by the roadside." Belinda's voice quivered, her tears trickling down her cheeks. "I remember you, it was you who saved me." Of all the cars that whizzed past, not one stopped to help, only Arabella had extended a helping hand. Belinda still remembered how weak she had felt, barely able to keep her eyes open due to lack of oxygen, her head spinning with discomfort. Yet, Arabella's appearance was like a breath of fresh air, a sight for sore eyes. This girl, she was incredibly beautiful, much like her daughter in her younger days. However, This child had a stronger aura than her young daughter did, and her features were even more stunning. Arabella's eyes softened. It was unexpected that her grandma had noticed her back then. No wonder Mom told me she saw a girl who looked a lot like me. Louisa suddenly realized she was talking about Bella, not hallucinating. All of us missed you, Mom. Kenneth grinned. We're really overjoyed that you've woken up. Yeah, once again Bella saved you. Samson chimed in with a smile. Including this time, she saved you 4 times. 4 times. Belinda was taken aback. Wasn't it only twice? When were the other 2 times that she had no recollection of? The first time was by the roadside. The second time she came here, took your pulse, and prescribed medication. The third time was when you learn about the baby mix-up, and you fainted in shock. The 4th time was just now. Belinda was surprised. She hadn't expected her own granddaughter to have saved her 4 times. Do you know that she's the renowned Dr. Bell that everyone's been talking about? As soon as Samson finished speaking, Belinda was even more surprised. She had heard the name Dr. Bell countless times during her search for treatment. She hadn't expected such a mysterious figure in the medical field to be her own granddaughter. Bella is an exceptional doctor. She's confident she can cure your disease. Samson's words once again left Belinda in disbelief. She knew very well how serious her condition was. But her granddaughter could. Really? Belinda turned to Arabella, her eyes wide in disbelief, as if waiting for an answer. Everyone around her was smiling, including her grandsons. Grandma, you may not believe what other quacks say, but everyone's witnessed Bella's medical skills. If she says it's possible, then there's definitely no problem. Don't be fooled by her young age, she knows a lot. You'll realize, after spending some time with her, that she is a treasure trove of knowledge. Alright, stop babbling, let Grandma have a good chat with Bella. Louisa chided. Belinda hadn't expected her grandsons to hold such high regard for Arabella. It seemed that they all got along quite well over the past days. Are you a medical student? Belinda asked. I learned from an elder member of our community, Arabella began gently. I won't claim to be able to perform miracles, but I can handle basic medical emergencies without a hitch. Are you still in school? Belinda inquired. Speaking of school, Arabella replied, your granddaughter here scored perfect grades on her national exams. She's been courted by prestigious schools from across the country, but chose to attend Westerly College. She's a freshman at Westerly College now. They've given her a lot of leeway, allowing her to attend classes at her own pace. Her talents don't stop at academics. She's also quite gifted in arts. She led her team in a competition against other prestigious schools and emerged as the star, creating quite a buzz. In short, we could go on for days about your granddaughter's virtues. Her brothers all chimed in, singing Arabella's praises. Belinda was taken aback by the excellence of her long-lost granddaughter. Looking at Arabella's sweet, beautiful face, her eyes brimmed with tears again. I heard from Louisa that you've had a tough time over the past 18 years, Belinda said, her heart aching. It's all in the past, Arabella dismissed, brushing off the hardships of the past 18 years with ease. Belinda felt the maturity and resilience in her words. What a wonderful child. She couldn't help but squeeze Arabella's hand. I'm glad you're back. It proves there's justice in the world. With the Collins family and your aunt and uncles around, you won't have to suffer anymore. I'm fine. If there's anything you're uncomfortable with in the house, just let us know. Everything's great. Bella is easygoing. She doesn't fuss about anything, Clark said with a smile. She never asks for anything. When we insist on buying her stuff, she claims it's wasteful. She's always thinking about saving us money. We've said it before, the list of her virtues could go on and on. Louisa listened to her sons, feeling gratified to have such a considerate and well-behaved child. I haven't had time to prepare a present for our first meeting. Maybe when Christmas Eve arrives. Before Belinda could finish her sentence, David laughed. Grandma, Christmas Eve has passed. It's past midnight now. It's Christmas Day. It's Christmas already? Belinda hadn't realized how quickly time had passed. Arabella smiled. Grandma, waking up is the best gift you could give me. Material wealth is secondary. My parents, uncles, and brothers have already given me so much. That's not the same. Belinda immediately countered. The sentiment from your grandmother is different. Let me think of a suitable gift to give you. And she set about pondering seriously. Why don't you rest a bit? Bella has been running about a lot because of your illness, Louisa said with a smile. Once you rest, everyone else can too. After all, Bella must have sacrificed a lot of her own work to take care of things here. If her grandmother could recover soon, it would ease Bella's burdens. Now that you're awake, shall I give you your medicine? Arabella asked, signaling May to bring the herbal concoction from the kitchen. It's Christmas, maybe I could skip it today. Belinda caught a whiff of the strong medicine from afar. Ever since she fell ill, she had been consuming all sorts of medicine to the point where she was somewhat reluctant now. This medicine is good for you. Arabella took the bowl of medicine and gently coaxed her. Thinking about how the prescription was written by her own granddaughter, Belinda decided to brave it out. All right, I'll listen to you. Here, drink it slowly. Arabella spoon-fed her the medicine. Serena, who was watching from the side, was amazed at how naturally and harmoniously they seemed to get along. Was it because of the good impression Arabella left on Grandma during their first meeting, then saving her 3 times, and with her brothers constantly singing her praises? Was that why Grandma adored her so much? Although Serena understood, it was natural for Arabella's own grandmother to treat her well after she returned home. However, Serena felt a hint of emptiness and loss. She had been standing by the bed for a while now, but ever since Arabella appeared, Grandma couldn't take her eyes off her. Belinda showered Arabella with concern. She didn't even glance at Serena. At last, after finishing her medicine, Belinda commented with a cheerful smile, I didn't expect Bella's medicine to be not bitter at all, much better than other doctors. After one sip, I can tell she's highly skilled. She even gave Arabella a thumbs up, singing her praises. Everyone saw Belinda's furrowed eyebrows relax. They couldn't help but laugh. This adorable old lady didn't bother to prepare her fibs. Grandma, I'm so glad to see you awake, but I have to go back to my homeland for some business. Clark stepped forward, gently taking Grandma's hand in his own. I'll come to visit you another day. You little rascal, what are you off to again? I hardly see you throughout the year. Before Louisa finished, another son interrupted. Grandma, you rest and recover. I have some urgent matters and need to head back home too. You must follow Bella's advice. Whatever she says you can eat, you do. Whatever she says you can't, you don't. Hans, you're leaving too? Louisa was slightly annoyed. Today is Christmas. Instead of spending it with your sister, you all are rushing off to do what? No one's leaving until you explain. It was a rare occasion to have everyone gathered, yet not even half a day had passed and they were about to scatter. Mom, Grandma, I have sore matters to attend to as well. I'm catching a flight back with Hans. Everyone turned to look at the speaker. It was Chaucel. Louisa was about to explode. Mom. Arabella spoke up with a smile. Hans, Chaucel, and Clark have already spent Christmas with me ahead of time. I've received the surprises and gifts, and I'm very touched and happy. This is the first time in 18 years that so many people have celebrated with me, giving me so many surprises and touching moments. I'm already very content. Upon hearing this, everyone felt a pang of sympathy. They'd given Serena these surprises and companionship for 18 years, yet Arabella only had half a day. Let them go. They must have other work that's been held up. Arabella's magnanimity made Louisa even more displeased with her 3 sons. Look at your sister. How understanding and considerate she is to speak up for you at every turn, yet you guys. Mom, calm down. David immediately went over, slinging an arm over her shoulder with a cheeky grin. You still have me, right? Those 3 blockheads don't know the first thing about cheering up a sister. All 3 of them combined aren't as good as me. The 3 brothers sent him warning glances, as if to say, dare to badmouth us in front of our sister? Just try it. David chose to ignore them. Without them, we have more time to spend with Bella, with Grandma, isn't that better? They'll have more time to spend with our sister undistracted once they're done with their work. that's great. Let me make it clear, all of you. He thought, man, why do you guys look so scary when I'm speaking up for you? David plucked up his courage. Anyway, all of us must make time during the holidays. We're a big family, we can't do without anyone. We're all spending this Christmas together. Agreed. The first to respond was Grandma from her sickbed. Samson also agreed. Hans agreed readily, no problem. Chaucel and Clark were on board too. They'd been planning to give Bella a huge surprise. Once they left, Louisa remained a bit dissatisfied. Kenneth comforted her while Grandma Belinda had a long chat with Arabella, only glancing at Serena when she grew tired. Louisa had already discussed Serena staying with the family. Belinda spoke kindly, Serena, now that your sister's back, you two need to get along. Serena nodded, replying gracefully, don't worry, Grandma. I really like Bella. She even gave me a present tonight. Oh, really? Belinda nodded, smiling, that's good. I'm a bit tired, off to bed now. She was still holding Arabella's hand, let's chat more tomorrow. Okay. Arabella helped her to bed, turned off the lights, and left Grandma's room. Before leaving, she reminded the caregivers and servants to keep a close watch. Although Serena felt a bit disappointed, she returned to her room and made a Facebook post. Didn't expect Mom and Dad to prepare such a grand surprise for me. Unfortunately, I was overseas creating a surprise for them and didn't witness these beautiful fireworks. The video was from the servants. For 18 years, I've kept all the love from my family close to my heart. Love you guys. She added a heart emoji at the end of the post. The fireworks video she obtained from the servants was particularly brilliant and beautiful. At the end of the video, she added several photos of the gifts her family gave her. She even wrote the names of each family member who gave her gifts, like Hans, Chaucel, and so on. To prevent her family from thinking she was showing off, she didn't make the post visible to them. Everyone else saw her Facebook post. Within 2 minutes of posting, she received over 100 likes. Dozens of comments appeared immediately, and the number continued to rise. OMG, what kind of fairy tale family is this? Fireworks and presents. All limited edition. I passed by Reflections Villa last night and shot a video. I was wondering which wealthy man prepared this surprise for his girlfriend. I didn't expect such a romantic idea came from your parents. So cool. I don't need a dozen of these family members, just one is enough. Serena is so lucky, living in such a happy environment and enjoying every single day. Serena, you're so fortunate to have a loving family and us, your loving friends. When Serena saw their praises and envy, her mood improved once again. Meanwhile, Arabella left Grandma's room and saw May sitting at the junction of the living room and garden, engrossed in her phone. Arabella approached and heard her mutter something like, "How could this happen?" Her voice wasn't loud, but she seemed to be complaining. Arabella asked with a smirk, "Still not going to bed?" "Miss Bella." May turned back, asking in surprise, "You're not going to bed yet?" "Hey, just stepped out of Grandma's room, what about you?" Arabella asked in a gentle whisper. "I'm well, I'm not tired yet." "What were you mumbling about on your phone earlier?" "Well." Seeing no one was around, May moved closer to Arabella and whispered, "It was Serena's post on Facebook, a bit too showy if you ask me. She wanted to flaunt the expensive gifts she received from her family and even posted pictures of them. For each gift, she attached a note mentioning who it was from, too obvious." "What's wrong with that?" Arabella laughed. "Wasn't it just like Serena's style? She had always been this way. If she didn't flaunt the gifts, it would be unlike her. But you're the famous calligrapher Labella. Your words are worth their weight in gold. She wanted to show off the value of the gift but didn't want to give you due credit. Look at the photo, she just wrote, 'Sister,' without specifying which sister. Who knows who she's referring to?" This meant Serena merely wanted to show off the value of the gifts, not her real relationship with Arabella. It feels a bit manipulative. May couldn't help expressing indignation on Arabella's behalf. Either don't flaunt it at all, or mention who it's from. Enough, go to sleep. Arabella didn't seem to mind. She had never taken Serena seriously, not in the past, not now. Meanwhile, in a luxury car, a rich young lad scrolling through Facebook couldn't help teasing his friend. "Martin, your darling is showing off her gifts. How come I don't see anything from you?" There were gifts from her parents, uncle, sister, and several brothers. Only Martin was missing. He was nowhere in the text, nor in the pictures. Going through Serena's previous Facebook posts, it seemed like Martin had never been mentioned. "Do people still not know you're her boyfriend?" The rich lad leaned back nonchalantly, phone in hand, casually asking, "That ring and necklace, I remember you having a hard time getting them. But they are nowhere to be found on her Facebook. She most likely considers you a backup." Beside him, a young man with neatly cropped hair and clear eyes exuded a charm and maturity beyond his years. Despite being dressed in a suit, his youth and upbringing were evident. Such an upbringing shaped by wealth from a young age, his every move radiated elegance. His name was Martin, who had accompanied Serena to Lidoria today on the pretext of work. After Serena went to her uncle's house, he met up with some friends. Now, they were planning to stay overnight at a friend's hotel. "All the gifts from family members have been displayed except yours." The rich lad hadn't finished his sentence. Martin calmly interjected, "I haven't passed the test yet. I'm not considered her real family." "Why do you care so much?" The rich lad couldn't help but put his phone away, staring at him in disbelief. "It's just a girl. How can she mess with your mind like this? Listen to my advice, if she's keeping you hidden, let's find someone else. There's plenty of women, why let her have you wrapped around her finger?" It was then Martin looked at him, "I don't want to hear this from you again." The rich lad was taken aback. "Do you enjoy being a lapdog?" "I just like her, doesn't matter what I am to her." Previously, she was engaged to Romeo, and all he could do was watch from afar. Later, it was rumored that the engagement was called off privately. As for the reason, he wasn't sure. The fact that she was willing to be with him was more than enough. At this moment, Martin pulled out his phone, found her Facebook post and watched the entire video diligently. He liked the post and even left a comment. "Your family sure knows how to create surprises and romance. There's much I can learn from them." When the wealthy lad saw Martin had typed such a long sentence, his eyes nearly popped out of his sockets. "So, you're on Facebook too? I thought you didn't use it. I mean, you're on Facebook but you never like any of my posts. You're not her." Martin put away his phone, his expression somewhat dismissive. Besides, why on earth would a grown man post on Facebook, wanting likes? "Fine, my bad." Serena saw that the number of comments had exceeded 200 and she was overjoyed. Then, upon seeing Martin's comment, her face fell. So he finally admitted he had a lot to learn. When Romeo had prepared such a grand surprise for Arabella, and then there was him, simply handing it over without an ounce of surprise. He was so frugal and rigid. Totally uninteresting. So, Serena responded to many people but deliberately ignored him. After a while, Serena could not resist clicking on the fireworks video again. At the time, many of the staff at Reflections Villa had looked up at the night sky, taking photos and videos with their cell phones, gasping in amazement. They were all guessing who had arranged the fireworks display and how much it must have cost. Serena felt a sweet sensation in her heart. She was watching the video when, unexpectedly, the camera panned over and she thought she saw Martha's figure. She was standing by a large tree, seemingly watching the fireworks. Because the camera moved so quickly, the figure was a bit blurry even when she paused the video, but Serena could vaguely guess that it was Martha. Martha had mentioned that she had heard the fireworks last night but didn't go out to watch them. If she was in the garden at the time, why would she lie about it? Could it be that Martha, being of old age, had forgotten after watching the fireworks? Was there something wrong with her health? Or had Martha seen the news and thought that the fireworks display was not as grand as the one her brothers had prepared for Arabella? So was it because she didn't want Serena to feel upset and deliberately kept it a secret? Thinking this, Serena felt grateful for Martha, who always thought about her. The next morning, Belinda woke up in a daze, hearing someone speaking. It sounded like her great-granddaughter's gentle, soft voice. She was asking the caregiver if anything unusual had happened the previous night. Then it was Arabella's voice, checking the monitor. She looked at the data and spoke with the caregiver for a while. After a moment, a pair of soft hands rested on Belinda's leg. Arabella sat by the bed, gently massaging her grandmother's leg while discussing the medical condition with the caregiver. She also spoke to the other staff about the day's precautions and a change in the prescription, replacing one of the herbs with red lotus seeds. Belinda was already awake, but the comfortable massage made her relax and drift back to sleep. She hadn't slept this comfortably in a long time. Not sure how long she had slept, Belinda woke to a world of pure white. The snow had ceased, everything was draped in white, as far as the eye could see. Arabella sat by the bed massaging Belinda. Seeing her awake, her eyes softened. "Grandma, you're awake." "Bella, how long have I been asleep? What time is it?" 12 o'clock. Arabella carefully helped her up. "Be careful, take it slow." Belinda managed to sit up, her gaze never leaving Arabella, her tone filled with concern. "Have you had lunch? Have you been massaging me all morning? My silly girl. Your hands must be sore. Let me rub them for you." She had vaguely heard her granddaughter talking to the maid earlier in the morning, even helping her massage. Time had quickly passed. "I'm not hungry nor tired." Arabella smiled softly. "But you can eat something light today. How about I will you over to join everyone for lunch?" Today was Christmas. It was more lively when everyone gathered together. "Sounds good." Belinda agreed, her eyes crinkling with amusement as she looked at her granddaughter. Such a thoughtful, considerate, and sensible girl. Arabella assisted her, while the maid hurriedly came over to help. "Miss Bella has been taking care of you all morning. None of us can replace her. She just wants to do something for you personally." Hearing noises from the room, Serena, who had been waiting outside, hurried in. "Grandma, you're awake. Lunch is ready, let's eat together. It's been a while since we had a meal together." Seeing Arabella pushing the wheelchair, she smiled. "Arabella, let me do it. You've been working all morning." "It's okay." Arabella's tone was indifferent. The maid wanted to remind Serena to not overstep. In the eyes of Belinda, Bella had massaged her all morning without any complaints, while Serena had just walked in with sweet words, trying to take credit without doing anything. It wasn't very appropriate. Unaware of what had transpired, Serena stayed beside Belinda, smiling sweetly. "Grandma, I dreamed so many times about this day. Finally, it's come true. You're awake and we can all have a meal together." Before she could finish, there was a loud bang that scared her into shrieking and stepping back. A smart robot about a meter high had unexpectedly exploded, scattering debris everywhere. Arabella immediately shielded Belinda on the wheelchair with her back, blocking the sudden danger. Several people were shocked. Belinda was startled as well, and Arabella hurriedly comforted, "Grandma, it's okay. It's just a robot that suddenly exploded. Take deep breaths, exhale slowly, relax." Belinda first worried about Arabella's condition. "Are you okay? Is your back hurt?" "I just saw some debris hit Miss Bella's back." The maid was quite frightened. The incident happened so suddenly, so quickly, she hadn't had time to react and debris had hit Bella's back. She was worried about Bella getting injured and hurriedly went to get help. "Let me see." Belinda grabbed Arabella's arm, insisting to see her back. Arabella turned around. "It's okay, I was just hit, it doesn't hurt." "You silly girl. You just rushing in like that. Are you injured anywhere?" Arabella carefully checked. Thankfully it was winter, they were wearing thick clothes and she had protected her, so the debris hadn't hurt Belinda. Serena was dumbfounded, only snapping out of it when Arabella stepped forward to inspect the robot. She quickly rushed to Belinda's side, crouching down and asking, "Grandma, are you all right?" "I'm fine." A shiver ran down Serena's spine as she realized her own fear. She had instinctively stepped back, unlike Arabella, who had immediately rushed to protect their grandmother, showing concern for her well-being. Would Grandma think she was a coward, that she preferred her own granddaughter more? If that was the case, then she had been negligent. "Bella." At that moment, a crowd of people rushed towards Arabella, all inquiring about her injuries. But Arabella was calmly inspecting the fragments of the robot. This robot is a knockoff. It looks like the popular high-end intelligent robot CX-203, but it's made up of substandard parts inside, and the explosion was due to the poor quality of these components. The crowd was astonished. How could a substandard product appear in Samson's house? At that moment, a servant knelt down, crying in fear, "Yes, I'm sorry, Mr. Samson. I didn't check properly when this batch of robots arrived. It almost injured Ms. Bella and old Mrs. Griffith. I'm really sorry." "It already has." Samson's eyes darkened, but when he looked at Arabella, they softened. "I'll have a nurse check you over, and if necessary, we'll go to the hospital." Yes, we should go. I didn't even react when the explosion happened, and Bella had already thrown herself on me to protect me." Belinda was particularly moved. She hadn't expected the child to risk her own life to protect her. "It's fine. I'm a doctor." Arabella was confident. "I just got hit, but I have many layers on, I'm all right." "Really? You can't lie to me." Louisa was still very worried. "Really, I'm fine." Arabella walked over to her grandmother, pushing her wheelchair. "Let's go have dinner. Have someone thoroughly investigate where this originated from." Samson instructed. Was it someone daring enough to sell him a knockoff among a batch of real ones? Or had someone secretly switched the genuine one out? Or was it due to some other reason? Find it out. Yes. The butler was terrified, relieved that Miss Bella hadn't been injured or bleeding, otherwise, he'd be in trouble for his lack of oversight. After this incident, Belinda had Arabella sit next to her, with David shamelessly sitting on Arabella's other side. Samson voiced his concern. "You have plenty of time to eat with your sister at home. I'm only here for a few days, won't you get up?" "Uncle Samson, you're an elder, and you're fighting for a seat with your junior." David refused to budge. "If you want to have dinner with Bella, you can visit her at home. I will visit more often in the future." "Forget it, Samson. I've never won a fight for a seat next to Bella. Let's sit together." Kenneth pulled Samson down to sit. "David, your 11th global tour concert is in Lidoria, right?" The implication behind Samson's words was, "You still have time to change your mind." "Uncle Samson, I understand." David chuckled. "You'll definitely bring a crowd to support me, right? You'll handle all the venue and equipment issues, won't you?" "Thanks, Uncle Samson. Here's to you." Belinda laughed heartily. It had been a while since the whole family had sat down for a meal together. She reached out to serve Arabella. "No need, Grandma, I can do it myself." Arabella took the initiative to serve food to the elders. David held out his bowl expectantly. "What would David like?" "Whatever you feel like serving, I'm not picky." As long as it was served by his beloved sister, even a clove of garlic or a slice of onion, he would finish it all. Arabella chuckled and served him a shrimp. David was over the moon, immediately took out his phone to snap a photo, and posted it on Twitter. "This is the most delicious shrimp I've eaten in my entire life." He even teased his brothers in a group chat. "Bella's shrimp, it's big, fresh, and sweet Hans. Knife.jpg Chosel, beating JPG Clark, roll.jpg David's mood got even better, and he ate with gusto." Serena felt like a thorn in a cushion. She felt like an outsider. Everyone was chatting with Arabella and hardly anyone noticed her. She kept consoling herself. Uncle Samson and Grandma just recognized Arabella. They were curious about her, so naturally, they would ask her more questions, care about her, and talk to her. But on a second thought, Mom, Dad, and even David, who had been with Arabella for such a long time, were ignoring her, which was quite unreasonable. "Serena, try this." Samson noticed that Serena was unusually quiet today, and served her some food. "Thank you, Uncle Samson." Arabella was oblivious to the fact that this type of shrimp had sold out in the market. Seafood vendors didn't understand. Why are so many people buying this type of shrimp today? Some have run around several markets and couldn't find it, so they came to buy from me. Because this is the same type of shrimp David had. A fan took out her phone, showed the photo David had posted, and said excitedly, "We want this type of shrimp." David said it was the most delicious shrimp he's ever eaten. "We want to try it too." Oh, so that's why the vendor still didn't understand. A superstar takes a bite of shrimp, and it causes such a stir? I'll take the rest, pack them all for me. A fan said generously. No, no, we are all David's fans, could you leave me 2 pounds of shrimp, sis? A pound is enough for me. Or, how about we eat together at noon? Then we can take a picture and post it on Twitter at David. That sounds great. Meanwhile, several major grocery shopping apps also quickly launched this type of shrimp, delivered to your home within an hour. David's exact type of shrimp, $59.90 per pound, $100 for 2 pounds. After dinner, Arabella took her grandma for a walk in the garden. Serena mustered up the courage to approach. Arabella, let me do it. From the moment Grandma woke up, Arabella had been monopolizing her for a long time. She also wanted to get closer to her grandma, afraid that her grandma would grow distant from her, the granddaughter with no blood ties, now that she had a biological granddaughter. But Belinda kindly said, let Bella accompany me for a while longer, you go rest first. Grandma, I'm not tired. I was waiting outside the door this morning. When I heard you woke up, I rushed in. I want to accompany you too. I need to talk to your sister. Only then did Serena say somewhat awkwardly, then Arabella, when you're tired call me, and I'll take care of Grandma. All right. Arabella agreed. Serena left the garden somewhat dejectedly. Just now at the dinner table, Grandma and Arabella had talked so much, and they still had more to say. How could there be so much to talk about? It must be because of the robot incident. Grandma thought she was a coward, thought Arabella, the biological granddaughter, was more reliable. She hated herself, she should have been braver, reacted faster. Then she wouldn't have been upstaged by Arabella. If you have enjoyed this story, please like and share so others can see it too. Also hit the subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified on our next release. Thank you for your support. God bless you.